Hello, today I want to talk about sleep because this is such an important topic. We sleep every day, and that is not because we want to sleep, right? We need sleep. And I think a lot of people don't really understand that we actually need sleep. It's not like an optional thing. And I feel like a lot of people try to lower the amount of time that they sleep so then they can have more time that they are awake so they can be more better use of their time. That's not really necessary better use of their time because if you don't have enough sleep, and when I say don't have enough sleep, that means sleep deprivation, right? And what is the optimal amount of sleep? I think the optimal amount of sleep is 8 hours a day. And you can sleep like, you know, nap included. So you don't have to be like a whole 8 hour stretch all at the same time. But that is kind of on average. So maybe between 7 to 9 hours, you'll be good. But 8 is a perfect spot. And then back to like, if you don't have enough sleep, it's going to have a lot of detrimental consequences to your health. Number one is your mood is going to be bad. I guess I cannot say it for everybody, but if I don't have enough sleep, or if I'm in the middle of sleep and somebody try to wake me up, I'll be really grumpy, I tell you. I am going to be angry, and I'm in a bad mood. Another thing is sleeping like have a lot of benefits. It gives you a sharper focus. If you're not sleeping well, or I think you have experienced that, like when you're like extremely sleepy and you're trying to stay awake as best as you can, and you just doze off. I mean, how can anyone ever focus? So at that point, you just really shouldn't just go to sleep because your brain is shutting down, and you are not getting any work done or anything done in a good quality manner, even you try to. And they say that sleeping also provide better memory. And that is hard to attest, but I would say that throughout my life, I hardly ever sleep deprived. I almost every day I would get like, 8 hours sleep. Even I cannot sleep at night. Like I just can't fall asleep. That's what I mean. I would still try to be in the bed and try to sleep. So even though you are not able to like fall asleep, I think that even by laying on the bed and trying to sleep and keep your eyes closed, just like that, it really helps. Better than when you're trying to like stay awake and try to do something else. You know, it's like imagine your brain is like a computer, and if you can fully asleep, then it's like shutting down your computer, right? But even you cannot fully shut down, you would just lay in your bed and close your eye. That is like putting your computer in sleep mode. So at that mode is trying to save battery, but then it's still like easily wake up again. So it still help to conserve your battery. And you know, talking about battery, sleeping is like charging your phone, right? If your phone has like 5% or 2% of battery left, it's gonna glitch out. And that's the same thing as your brain. So you should really not get down to like that level with your brain for your sleep. And then, the reason why we need to sleep, is because we have a lot of stuff processed in our head throughout the day. And the nighttime when we sleep is when it's clear out all the junks, all the toxic stuff, and it's kind of like sort and organize our brain. It's like an information center. So if you don't do that, it's just like information just everywhere. So you need to kind of like have a software update, if you will, to kind of like keep everything organized. So that's very important. So sometimes I know it's difficult for people who have like insomnia and they could not sleep easily. I have like a coworker. He has been having sleep problem like for like several years, and seeing doctor, no help, medication. Oh my God, that's just a waste of money and cause a lot of side effects. So he just kind of living it through. Uh, sometimes he walks into work and he's just in like this zombie mode, I call it, just like, not really awake, kind of like a zombie. And and I feel bad for those people. For myself, sometimes I cannot sleep. I will recommend listening to like background music, like soft background music, like maybe like the sound of the river running, the rainy day, the even thunderstorm. Surprisingly, is very comforting to sleep. I also like to listen to like, different instrumental music, just soft music. Sometime when that doesn't work, then I go to audiobook. And I don't think audiobook is gonna work the same for everybody. As for me though, it works because I'm somebody who's terrible at reading and I don't like reading books. And when it audiobook, you wouldn't think that would be better, right? Like reading book will make me fall asleep really fast. And audiobook, same effect, put me to sleep. And so I just listen, I just hear the sound. It's not like I'm not listening to what the content of the book is. And that is able to put me in sleep. Typically, I would just set on my iPad a 15, 18 minutes timer. So after like 15, 18 minutes of playing that audiobook or the music, it will automatically shut off. So there's a setting in your device. Um, so so typically before the time expire, I would have just fell deep into sleep, and that's how it works for me. So I just want to say that it's very important to get your sleep in, and and then one more thing is there is no such a thing as making up your sleep. I mean, you can try. I think a lot of people try to do that. So what I mean is like people pull an all-nighter and they don't go sleep for like a whole 24 hours straight. Maybe they have like an all-night concert, or maybe they have to study for their final exam, whatever, you know. And then they were like, okay, I'm gonna try to sleep like 15 hours straight or 24 hours straight on the weekend just to make up for it. Like 2 days, I just crash on my bed. Okay, I mean, you can partially offset some of the sleep deprivation that you had on the previous day, but your brain don't really like fully catch up. You can't really compensate for. It's not like you borrow $100 here today and tomorrow you're gonna return the $100 and then you pay off your debt. It doesn't work that way. So it's best to avoid like abusing your own brain and just sleep regularly every day. And honestly, like everybody have 24 hours in their day. It's just really how you prioritize things, right? And I think sleeping is a very high priority thing. And you might think that I thought about this too. I'm like, okay, if I sleep less time, does that mean that increase my active time or my productivity time of being alive on this earth, right? Because you can consider sleeping as like dead time, right? You don't do anything. So it's sometimes that you don't even like on the earth even, right? You can think of it that way. But the reality is, what if you don't have enough sleep and it's actually lower your expectancy, your life expectancy? And then it might lower your efficiency. You might not work as efficient. So why do you make yourself, suffer just to stay awake longer, But if you have multiple jobs and you have like no choice, then okay. But yeah, I would just strongly recommend 8 hours sleep every day. Don't try to make it up. Thank you.